hits for some quick cash, and we want to start off with Las Vegas Sands, another call that you and I did with the options profits video that turned out a great earnings call for us. JP Morgan added it to their focus list on Monday. Macau revenues year over year were up 47.5%.
This stock is acting well every time the market wants to bounce. It obviously came off with the volatility, but then from the lower levels, it had to move right back to resistance at 45. I don't think you chase it up here. I think if it pulls back to 42, it looks better for a potential buy.
So, JP Morgan, not only because I love Jamie Dimon and I think he's a fantastic leader in his space, if not the overall market, revenues are up a little bit more than its peer.
I would say if you have to be in a bank, JP Morgan's the one for the long term, but obviously if you're in it for the long term, it's an excuse to hold that's something going against you. But JP Morgan also has this lower level flag. It tried to break above yesterday. I would say you could stay long, but if it breaks below 36, it also could head back to the lows. But this is a bank that if you have to be in any banks, this is one of them.
Moving along to GLD, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the market was a little bit more calm, flattish to the upside, gold still hitting new highs. Where does it stop?
Gold had a minor, just say, pause, and then it had a controlled move back or a pull into the 10-day, and then we had a nice reversal. If you look here on gold, you will see that happened right here. I went over it with Alex. This was your reversal day to buy it back. 4 up days. It's gapping up today. I don't think you should be chasing it up here, and if you're in anything more than a tier 2, tier 3 long, you should sell some into this excitement.
CME Group, ticker CME, another one that I love this name with all the volume that we had the week of August 8th. It clearly made sense for the exchanges, but then you have France and Germany proposing the transaction tax rule. CME, it did not react well to that because they have so much European exposure. I
know. These regulations are getting crazy. They're just trying to do everything they can, and none of these are good ideas. I can't get into it now because I would need about an hour and a half. But the CME right now, we had a nice call from 240. It came back up through this prior support that turns into resistance. I would say on CME, as long as it stays above 250, it's in the game for an additional gain above 260 up to about this 270 area. But watch it closely, see how that that news affects it. But right now, it's holding in okay technically.
And for our last pick today, Biogen, which is what we're going to talk about in the OP video, they have BG12 is the name of the drug that most analysts expect it will get approval. Jefferies is positive on the name. Oppenheimer took it up this morning.
Okay, so then there's a lot of people in support of this. I haven't traded this in a while. We talked about it a little while back. You had this huge gap. And then, when again, I think guys on a technical basis were trading it as it cleared this flag, and it's still holding up pretty well above the moving averages. You have another flag pattern here. If there's no news as a trade, I think some guys will be all over this from the buy side above 92.70 to about 99. And I guess if they're waiting for approval on a drug, you just better know your risk. Because when they don't get them, they get crushed. And when they do get them, you get rewarded. What I like to do with some bios, though, I like to take in-the-money options so at least you have a defined risk, or just trade the equity intraday because overnight is tough with these type of scenarios.
So wrapping it up.